Yeah, now we can go. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Okay, starting in quarantine without an end in sight, we're bringing to you really just insane commentary. I don't even know if it's advice.
This isn't advice.
Last week we finished episode 20 and season 1. So again, thank you guys for listening all this time. And last week we started the 36 questions to fall in love, which was featured in the New York Times. And it got a little deep, it got a little heavy.
But all in the spirit of the podcast.
What happened? Like, a lot happened. We divulged our life stories. We admitted how we felt at certain times. It could probably be used as blackmail somehow, I don't know. But whatever. And now we're back. We're going to finish up the rest of the questions. So
yes, ma'am.
Here we go.
We're saying last time, but actually we're recording this whole thing like back to back.
Yeah,
so really, I just like sold my secrets 20 minutes ago. We're good.
Yep. Okay. We're starting with perhaps the best and worst question. Question 18 is, oh Jesus, what is your most terrible memory?
Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, now we're really giving too much. So remember sophomore year? The one I mentioned at least 300 times within the course of like our 21 episodes. Yeah, that
if
one.
If any of you can like legally drink, then you can make a drinking game out of it.
For real, every time Sonica says sophomore year. No, let's make this good. Every time Sonica says sophomore year, take a sip of water. You'll be so hydrated.
Oh.
You'll be glowing. Your intestines will be cleaned.
Yes, ma'am.
But anyway, sophomore year. Terrible memory. I don't really have like a distinctive memory from said year because it was just like a giant cloud of like bad. But I do remember like kind of like snapshots and like moments and kind of like how I was feeling at a certain time. This sounds like a super dramatic movie intro. I just remember snapshots and there's like a dark. No, but I guess like the worst kind of like memory I had from that time, and it doesn't sound too bad because I can't really voice the sentiment and like the feeling associated with it, but for a lot of that year I would just literally spend my night like crying, which I don't know, I don't want to make this too heavy, but I would straight up just like cry for literal hours and hours and hours at a time at night. And so I think one of the little like snapshot memories I have during that time is of that. And I know it's something that wasn't just like a one-time thing. It was pretty much for months on end. And during that time, to kind of help me feel better, I'd listen to like a lot of songs by artists I'd like. And so, yeah, I guess that's my most terrible memory I have, where it's like I'm just like in bed crying to this one song, and I still can't listen to it. So that's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Let's see. I think like there was this one time, I don't really know when this was, but it was like, I don't know, it's the first thing I can think of. I was at swim practice and we were doing like relays where we would divide into groups to like, I mean, you know what a relay is, it's the same thing, concept as in track, right? And like I mentioned in the last episode, the team, it was essentially structured like, not like explicitly, but I mean you could tell that it was structured a certain way. And people were picking teams, and I was like in the dark. It was like dark because we were practicing at night. It was like winter, so at 5 and 6 it's like super dark. And I hadn't been picked like the entire time. I was like just standing there, and I remember like they were literally about to start swimming, and I was still standing there. And then someone like pointed me out, and in that moment I wish I hadn't been pointed out at all. It was just so embarrassing. And sometimes I felt like people had to accommodate for me. Because I wasn't, again, objectively I wasn't very fast, but I still enjoyed the sport. And I think like right after that I had gone into like the restroom and I just started crying because I felt so bad.
Oh no.
And so in a way like I was glad that I quit because like of course the sport I still miss and enjoy, but I think it was a little bit better on my mental health when I stopped.
Stop comparing yourself. Or like...
And just like, I don't know whose fault it was really. I don't want to blame anyone that was on the team, but I didn't make any effort to get to know them, and it was the same in return. So, like, because they all went to a different school and everything, and they kind of grew up together, because going to the same school. So, I don't know. It was kind of good that I like left. But yeah. Yeah. It's getting a little too deep.
I know.
But,
oh Lord, y'all thought part 1 was deep. Wait till.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Part 2. Question 19.
Okay.
You know what?
No, this one isn't the worst one. I don't think this is the worst one because we've discussed this on multiple occasions during our deep questions. All right, question 19. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're now living? Why?
I don't know, because right now we're in a position where we can't go out and do
Can't do
things.
much to change things, yeah.
Okay, like, I'm gonna pretend the pandemic doesn't exist.
But
right?
don't do that in real life. It actually exists. Wear your mask.
Yeah, it does.
But
I don't know. I think I would make more of an effort to, like, again, like, do things by myself, because I feel like sometimes if I can't hang out with people, or if people, like, can't hang out when I propose, like, a plan or something, I put that on myself, like, oh, am I being clingy? Am I doing this or that? But I think I would probably try to spend more time alone and think about, like, myself.
Interesting. Would I change anything? I think I would be a little bit more deliberate with my actions. I mentioned the whole, like, mortality thing in, like, one of our deep questions with friends, where it's like mortality kind of gives you the awareness that you need to do stuff because you're not going to be here forever. So I think if I knew it were sooner, then I would probably push myself a little bit more to, like, do the things I wanted to accomplish. And just, like, personal goals and stuff like that. Like, whatever I think will make me feel good, whatever I think will make me feel fulfilled, I'll just try a little harder at those.
I mean, we proposed to do this podcast, and here we are.
Yeah, look at that. We're already living my pre-death lifestyle.
Oh no.
Which will hopefully be many years in the future.
Yeah.
So we're good. Okay. We're good. We just have to live like every day is our last. Look at that cheesy quotes.
Okay. All right. Okay, this question's nice too. Question 20 is, what does friendship mean to you?
Aw. You can go. Wait, did you go first last time? Did I go first last time?
I don't know, man.
Okay. I guess since you asked, I'll go. What does friendship mean to me? I think, as I said, just fundamentally trust and support. As long as those two are there, then anything goes. Because, like, if me and I have plenty of friends that are, like, really, really, really different from me, and we, like, disagree on a lot of stuff. But, I mean, that just adds to, like, my perspectives, right? The more you know, the more you can empathize with other people. So, fundamentally trust and support. Everything else is, like, secondary. I can deal without it.
Friendship is just, like, in my opinion, I guess, like, reassurance that you're not the only way. What am I saying? That you're not the only one who feels a certain way about things. And also, like, I found it as a way to, I guess, like, connect with the parts of myself that I've had to bear by alone, I guess. Like, some of my first, like, friends who are actually my only friends that are Filipino, I was glad to be friends with them because there was, like, that sort of solidarity, like, oh, we both have the same culture, we both understand, like, these things, and then it grew from there. Like, we're not just friends because we're Filipino.
Now you actually get along.
We're actually, like, friends, but
right.
Yeah, it's sort of like that solidarity. That's really nice.
Nice.
Okay. I'm, like, bracing myself for every time I click,
I know.
Like, the next
it's like
question.
This could either be really wholesome or, like, really bad. Okay, this isn't terrible. What roles do love and affection play in your life?
I mean, there are different types of love, right? Like, with friends, with your family, with someone, like, you have a crush on, like, I guess, you know what, I don't even care. We were talking about this the other day about, like, people that we actually really liked at the time. And I think the person that I thought of when I was telling you, it sort of changed, like, or they anyway were, like, instrumental in helping me understand what I valued in a person. And how, like, bridging the gaps and getting to know people isn't always great, because I had this, like, image of him that was, like, a certain way, or from the way I used to know him really well in like 8th and 9th grade, before like we sort of just didn't grow close anymore. And then every time I saw him, I was like approaching him with the idea like, oh, you're this person from this long time ago, and I didn't recognize that person changed, but they still like left an important impact on me.
Many a lesson was learned.
Yeah, I mean, I liked this guy, and he was in ROTC, so I don't know if that says anything, but despite these things, I was like, okay. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Nice. I guess for me, as you said, there's like multiple different types of love, right? Like you can have romantic, friendship, familial, like stuff like that, right? So friendship is platonic, that's what I was going for. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking strictly romantically, like in the context of these questions, nothing yet. Like I may have crushed on people in the past, obviously, but like I haven't fully, as you said, liked someone like that yet. So romantically, I don't think there's anything there. Like I'm just figuring things out. Family wise, I guess it's just, for me, the biggest issue, as like with most Eastern cultures have fun with, is like the collectivism versus individualism type thing. Especially like now that I'm growing older, I'm starting to fall more into the picture of like my extended family as well, rather than just like mom, dad, brother, me. So I'm, again, kind of in the learning phase, just figuring out where that all fits in like with my American values. Like obviously I still love my family regardless of like distance or whatever, right? Like, but the dynamic's different than like what's conventional. So figuring things out there. And then in terms of friendship, I think, as you said earlier, just reassurance, like having someone there for you and like mutually exchanging trust and support and just, you know, being there for each other. That's kind of what it plays in my life. But I don't know anything, so that's my final answer.
No, that's like, we're still so young, I guess. Like,
yeah,
there's no way to like tell.
Pinpoint that just yet. All right.
Okay, we kind of did this before in the style episode.
We have.
So question 20. Enjoy the thunder, everybody.
Yeah, ambient sounds. I think now it's like floated past my neighborhood into yours.
ambient rain sounds.
There we go.
Let me try and speak closer to the mic. So, okay. Question 22 is alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. So that'll be you. Share a total of 5 items.
Cute.
Items?
So we get to share 5 positive things about each other.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm just kidding. No items. Do you want to?
Oh, here's my candle. I sacrifice it to thee.
I'll just like in the mail. There's just a candle.
There's just that'd be cute.
Okay.
Okay, I can go first.
Okay.
Since you asked. I think the first thing that came to my mind, this is definitely not like the most important in my mind, but I think one of the things that stood out about you to me is that you're like an exceptionally good listener.
Oh, seriously?
Like an exceptionally, yeah, dude, no. And I know this because it's like something I really try to work on. And so a lot of like my more introverted friends, I kind of take that from them. It's like, how do I develop my listening skills? Like, what does this person do that like makes them a good listener? So I think one of the things that really stood out to me about you is that you're like a really, really, really good listener.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we're alternating, so
yeah.
For me it would be just like your, I guess, like tenacity with things. Like I've never met like I think I told you this, but like there are people that I've known who've pursued art and stuff but have like always criticized themselves in comparison, because obviously people have like their own styles and their own like way of doing things, but like I'm just surprised that you're just someone I know that's like stuck with like their craft for this long.
Oh, thank you.
I've always had just interest, but I've never gone any further than like doing them for what was needed or required. So yeah.
Thank you. This one, I don't know, it's a little bit more shallow, but like I mentioned this in the style episode as well. Dude, your like fashion sense is killer. Holy cow, I love your outfits. Every time she'd show up in school with something new, I'm just like, would you look at that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, like
Thanks.
Your closet is like goals. Yeah.
When I'm going to live in Toronto, the high prices of clothing are gonna freak me out. So that's really terrifying. Okay. For you, like mine's also kind of shallow, but you're just like very optimistic. And despite us having like different interests, like I'm glad that like you're someone that I can just admit certain things to. Like, oh, I'm interested in this really weird niche thing, and then it's like we can still enjoy it because we have like this mutual understanding of like, even though we don't like the same things, I can be vocal with you like, oh, I don't like this thing, but I respect that you like this thing, or
right,
vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm trying to think. Oh god, because it's not like it's all there. You know when you like. Oh shoot, like. You know, it's like the same thing as like, why do you love someone? And I'm just like, I don't know, I just do. Like, you ask me to pick things, but okay. Here, let's see. I think it's also because you seem very like level-headed. Like you're kind of like my voice of reason, if that makes sense. Oh. Yeah, like if I kind of go completely unhinged and I'm just like on a tangent, you're very like reasonable in comparison, so it balances very nicely. Again, it's something I try to work on in myself, and I see it in you. So
thanks.
Thank you for
grounding.
Yeah.
And I think like I guess this would be my third thing. It's good to know like people that are opposite of me, just so like it's like to keep yourself grounded and to say like, or just to feel like you are in a place where you can just be yourself and just like express these things. So yeah, I've admitted a lot of things to you that I've been like super embarrassed to admit to like any other people, so like thank you so much.
Yeah, I think on a similar note, thank you for putting up with all of my BS in middle school.
I don't even remember.
Like on a similar note, like remember when we'd like pass notes?
Dude, that was we were just in this like cycle of.
You're a phenomenal note passing partner. Thank you for that.
Oh, dude, I found some of them like that too. If you're listening, like guy like in middle school, I'm so sorry.
I know.
Oh my god, I am so sorry. I feel like open letter time. Okay, like I feel like you probably did not care. You might have just like been super. Who cares, right? Like you probably didn't care. I cared too much, so if you ever caught a whiff of like any of that, middle school wasn't real.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for like, yeah, positive characteristic, putting up with like whatever was going on in middle school.
Yeah, that's our mutual fourth thing. Like
that's what we this is what we bonded over. This is how we became friends.
Yeah. Like thank you.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry. Just move on.
Ew.
Be happy.
Okay, next positive characteristic. I guess like thank you. We're just like thanking each other. This isn't a thank you time. This is like you're good at this. Yeah. This kind of ties to the good listener thing again, but like we're very much on like the same wavelength as we mentioned in multiple questions. So I don't know, I'm kind of repeating what you said as well, but like you kind of act in opposition to me in a way. Like we're very different otherwise, but we still have the same core values. So I think I like that you have a very similar mindset and that you're someone I can go to and talk about different things despite. Now we're getting repetitive. I'm trying really hard to like think of something new and original, but like it's just the vibes, you know? The vibes.
Nothing else in there. Just a miasma of like vibe plasma, I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
You can tell I'm not a STEM kid just by that, like,
the vibe plasma.
Anyway.
It's okay, I'm a STEM kid and I rolled with that, so we're fine, we're chilling. I'm a repressed fine arts kid. Okay, more on that later. Anyways.
On that note, I guess, like, whenever I felt like a lot of people that I was friends with, unfortunately, we were friends under the circumstance that, like, oh, we take this class together. Or, oh, we're both stressed by academics. And whenever we would meet outside of school, it would just be school, but not in school. And I think, like, you've just been one of those friends that, like, despite all of those things that happened, it was never about, like, academic stuff. Like, yeah, we had classes together and we complained about math, especially calculus. You should have seen this in calculus.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, like despite all of those things, like we've been friends on other bases besides that.
Mhm. Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's what I was trying to get at with the vibes.
The vibe plasma.
But
Okay, we're gonna move on.
yes,
All right,
ma'am.
question 23 is, these are very.
No, I'm gonna come up with a proper number 25 down the line. I'm very bad at like dissecting my thoughts, but I love you.
Oh, it's all good. Okay, because all right, so I feel like these questions are gonna trap us. Like these are all kind of wholesome, and at some point it's just gonna do a full 180 and like. Oh.
Oh my god, for real.
Okay. Anyway, question 23 is, how close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most people's?
Oh. I don't know. Like, I don't know about comparison, but I think we were pretty, like, normal. It wasn't particularly wholesome and happy and comfortable. Obviously, there are things that, like, we had to deal with, but, I mean, we all got through them. So I think the fundamental, like, trust and support is there. So not, like, in a friendship way, in, like, a family way, but, like, we got each other's backs. We're all, like, super different. It's, like, weird at times, but, yeah, I think close and warm is a very funny usage of words for any Asian family. But I think comparatively we're pretty close and warm. Like, we're not afraid to, like, show affection or, like, be verbal about, you know, how we feel about each other. It's like, hey, I love you. Like, I'll say I love you to my parents. It won't be the stereotypical Wolford thing, but yeah, I think comparatively we're pretty close and warm. But, like, in terms of, like, how quote unquote happy my childhood was, I think it was pretty standard. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, like, a lot of people ask, like, I guess on that note, how I get along with my siblings. I don't have an answer. I just, like, really do.
I just do,
really
yeah.
well. I don't remember the last time I've ever fought with any of them, and if we did, it was resolved within, like, we just had to cool off for 30 minutes.
Within a day.
And then,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
one of us would just recite a meme, and we'd be like, oh, like, it would be over.
Yeah.
I guess, like, maybe that was the warmness of it. Like, I feel really close to my siblings, and we're really close. With my parents, it's like, it's sort of a different story. Like, I feel like there are things I can talk to them about and things I can't.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, I want to have a conversation with them, but then it turns into a lecture, and I'm like, can I just, like, talk to you?
It's like, no, never
like,
mind.
I appreciate it, but
yeah.
can I just, like, talk to you? But I guess we get along, and I've learned to respect that, like, we don't have the same opinions on things, and my parents were raised differently.
Exactly, yeah.
In terms of things like politics and whatever, I try not to, like, although politics and political views are things that I consider when getting to know somebody, like, with my parents and stuff, like, I sort of just don't, you know, I'm sort of just like, okay, we believe in different things, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate what you've done for me and everything, so. In terms of childhood, I was a pretty imaginative child. They didn't really stop me from doing anything, so it was fun, I guess. I don't think I appreciated it at the time, but looking back, I do now. Yeah.
I have compliment number 5.
Oh, okay.
And it's better than just vibes. You said something about being, like, imaginative, and like that's when I was like, yeah, that is the thing. So, like, I love how expressive you are. Like,
seriously?
Again, kind of like related to, like, clothes and, like, the way you, like, decorated your backpack with, like, the little paintings and stuff. Like, you're so creative, but really,
more.
oh my god, show.
Because I was like,
see, exactly.
I was a repressed anime kid. I was like repressed anime kid. I was like, no, liking anime is like for weebs, and I just stopped. But then I drew stuff on the side. I was like, I don't even care.
Whoa!
It's so
Holy
cool.
cow!
So
see,
fun.
yeah, look at that. Like,
I don't care.
Yeah. So I love that you're, like, super expressive and creative, and, like, I don't know. I'm surprised you said you were, like, the repressed anime kid, because I was like, she doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care what people think. Like, I've wanted to decorate my backpack so many times and just go ham with it, but I'm just like,
The BTS sweater.
No. Okay, so real quick, for clarification purposes, this is the sweater in question. We were not talking about the tour merch. I basically live in the tour merch. But if you're listening on one of the audio platforms and do not know which sweater I'm talking about, basically it's a pink hoodie with their faces just plastered real big all across the sweater. It's also unofficial merch, so I'm legally allowed to diss it. And let's just say it's something out of Tan France's worst nightmares. All right, back to the podcast. Exactly, like you know what you like, and you're not afraid to like express it. Like you don't seem to care about that, you know.
Oh.
Outsider opinions.
Okay.
So there's compliment number 5.
Right. Question 24 is kind of related to 23. This is random. I don't know. Like, question
Lord.
24 is, how do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
Bro, this is deep. I mean, it's like, I think for me, my mom and I are kind of like, she's like my friend, which is nice. Like, both of us have very like similar personalities, similar like outlook on life and stuff like that. So it's nice to have her as someone I could just talk to, because I know that she'll understand. Like, oftentimes she understands what I'm going through. Oh Lord.
Ambient
Anyways, yeah. She understands what I'm going through even before I do, and so she'll be like, listen, something's on your mind, talk about it. And I'm like, I guess. So I guess, yeah, it's just, we're really similar. So she's kind of just like the older version of who I probably will end up being. So yeah, it's nice to be able to talk to someone and have someone that just like immediately understands what you're going through, or like what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and can like empathize with you accordingly. So
with my mom, we're complete opposites actually. Like I don't even look like my mom. You've seen my mom before,
really?
Though, right?
Oh
we
yeah.
don't look like at all. It's like so scary that I'm her. It's like
Really?
so weird. 'Cause I remember she went to like middle school for something. It was like an awards ceremony or whatever. And there was this girl like later on who was like, "Are you adopted?" And I was like, "Are you serious?"
No.
Like, I get it. I know, but like I don't know. If
Dang,
you see my
that's
mom and I in
rough.
person, we're like complete opposite, like physically and like just in general. So sometimes like we just disagree on things that, like, more often I've started to develop like my own opinion about things after seeing certain things, because I think my mom was like raised more conservatively than I was. And now that I'm in this like situation where I've like gone to school with a lot of different people who have many different backgrounds, so my opinions differ a lot of the time, but I think it's still something that I need to work on, because we're not as close as we used to be when I was younger. And I would just like agree with everything that like she said and stuff, so but now like that I'm disagreeing, I'm like, okay, maybe there's a reason why we disagree. Maybe there's like a generational thing. I'm starting to think about like more conscious reasons at why, instead of like just, oh, we just disagree, that's it. Like, there are other reasons why.
For sure.
We do. But I mean, it's not all the time. We still have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah.
But,
Yay.
Nice.
Okay, number 25. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling. I feel like this is like the entire episode so far. This shouldn't be too hard. All right.
Maybe I'll go first. Okay. We are both not prepared for this episode. We're just like saying whatever.
I know.
This has the same. Okay, we're both engaging in like post-calculus, pre-7th period vibes, where we're just tired out of our minds. Just saying whatever.
Same things.
We are filming this episode.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Had to end on that easy.
Yes. We are. Man, you stole like 2 of mine. Okay.
Sorry.
I get to think. You're good. I think, as I said earlier, we are both very intuitive and have like the same kind of intuitive sense. So it's there. We are both stuck in rain and providing some beautiful rain noises for our viewers. And we are FaceTiming, Microsoft Teamsing on our laptops,
that's
and
true.
we wish, I hope, we could meet in person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You better want to meet me in person. Square up.
I will. What the heck?
I made the we statement. Chelsea's just like, I don't know about that.
Okay, and if you like, oh right, because right now, I think our school district is using Teams instead of Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
The grade school. Teams is superior to Zoom.
It is so good, dude. Microsoft Teams is greater.
Audio quality is better. Video quality is like kind of the same, but audio quality is much better.
Significantly better, yeah.
Really great. Okay.
Okay.
Question 26.
Oh my god, it's just like slowly getting darker and darker.
Yeah.
And my
it's
camera's
very
having.
imposing.
Yeah.
The darkness is just if you watch like 2 of these episodes back to back, like the light and the dark, they're just like closing in, and then it's like just so much darker.
Right. Oh my goodness. It's kind of like matching the vibe of the whole episode. The more we go in, the deeper the questions get, and the darker the ambience is. So it's like mysterious and cult-like by the end. Oh yeah, we love this.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, question 26. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank.
Ooh, okay. Take a sip of water, ladies. I wish I could have someone. I wish I had someone with whom I could share my experiences from sophomore year. I think this ties to the whole like mental health stigma thing, and that's why I'm such a like strong advocate for like, wholesome dad and daughter moment again. Oh,
It's my mom.
Oh, it's wholesome mom and daughter moment. Oh.
No, it's okay.
Welcome to season 2. Now it's both the parents having wholesome moments.
Yeah, my mom was here.
But yeah, so I guess, yeah, so I was saying, one of the reasons I'm such a strong advocate for like breaking mental health stigma is because for me, it literally took 6 months to pinpoint what was going on. And I could have figured it out so much faster. And the only reason I did figure it out is because I took psychology the summer before. And so eventually I was kind of able to be like, wait, this sounds like something. So, yeah, I don't know. So going back to the whole advocating for like breaking mental health stigma, one of the reasons I'm such a big advocate for it is because you feel a little bit better once you realize you're not alone in what you're going through. As cheesy as it sounds, like the reason I started working past whatever happened and kind of like building myself up from it is because I had the internet and I had resources that kind of told me, hey, you know, like this is something people go through and it's not as crazy or wild as you think it is. Obviously it hurts, but there are ways past it. Here's what you can do to help. And that's kind of what got me working my way back up. Also, I probably sound a little bit hypocritical. The only reason I'm not sharing what happened yet is not because I'm trying to enforce stigma or anything like that. It's just I'm not comfortable sharing it yet. So once my time comes, maybe I'll share it. But until then, you can probably guess it's not very difficult to piece together. But it's not because I'm feeling stigmatized about it. It's simply because personally I don't feel ready to talk about it very openly yet. So
no, yeah, that's
yeah,
totally
I wish I had
think,
someone which.
Yeah, like I had certain thoughts too
Yeah.
at the time, which like I couldn't even. If I had told my parents, it would have been like this whole thing, right? And I think like at one point my mom like she like brought me to like a psychologist, which was like completely I didn't even know about this, and I couldn't admit certain things because I was afraid of like getting help and like what that would look like. But yeah, I don't want to like invalidate your experience by like talking about.
No, that's true.
I had a
Yeah,
different
like,
answer for this question though. Anyway, like I know we go back and forth between the tangents of like men suck and also I want a boyfriend. It's like that like no. But yeah, like I wish I could meet someone that I could actually get to like and get to know and learn about a person like from scratch, I guess, if that makes sense. Because the last person I liked, I had known really
sweet.
well for like
Right.
1 or 2 years, but then after that, we as like a friend group, he was in like one of my friend groups. We just like grew apart just because. And as I mentioned in the last episode, I filled in a lot of gaps about him, and I felt like I liked him for the reasons I did when I was like 14 years old, which is like a super long time ago. And they're irrelevant now, right? So I kind of wish I could get to know someone from scratch and like get to know them fully without any of those gaps.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I kind of agree.
So, question 27 is kind of...
That's what college is for, ladies. Meeting new people,
Yay.
learning new things.
Actually, but I'm having more fun meeting like the other female students. They're so cool.
Yeah, for real.
I don't care about the dudes,
like,
whatever.
Another girl. Yeah.
Just,
we love you, men. Y'all are just as valid. Great people. Okay.
Anyway.
27. If you're going to become a close friend with your partner, I think we already are close friends, so I mean, please share what would be important for him or her to know.
For me? What would be the first thing? I guess, like, I don't know. I'm kind of impatient. So, I'm still in the process of learning to comprehend things and learning to, like, listen and be more empathetic of people's perspectives. I think I'm on the right track, but I'm a very impatient person, just in general. So.
It's okay, me too.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah. For me, I think this goes back to the like compliment thing, where I feel so bad every time I have to give compliments because they sound either super like backhanded or ingenuine. But like, I don't know, my way of expressing like affection and my way of like showing I care is not verbally at all. So when I give compliments, it comes out super like I'm just spewing things out and it sounds like I don't care, but like I promise I do. So that's probably what I'd want you to know. I'm not very verbal about how I feel, but I show I care through like actions or...
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like I will go out of my way to help you if you ever need help. Or I will like... I don't know, if you just text me, hey, I need help with something, I will absolutely like take time out of my day, like sit, like just drop everything and help you right there. But I'm not very like, hey, you're a fantastic person because I don't know, it does not come naturally to me and it's something I'm trying to work on, but I promise I care.
Okay, neat.
Yeah.
Question 28. These are very repetitive questions. We basically did this in episode 1. There was so much emotional turmoil.
Well, the more you know.
Not in a bad way though, but like, question 28 is tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone.
What did I just say?
We've been doing that. We've been doing that. I'll skip it because I don't even know what to...
No, I just talked about this. I'm so bad at doing this.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Go
no. Oh, Jesus.
No.
Like, what?
Okay, 29. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. There's so many. Where do we begin?
Dude. Like, I don't freaking know.
I know exactly which one.
What's like, because I feel like a lot of the moments that I consider embarrassing were like things that I overthought were like, oh, I bet people feel this way about this moment, or oh, I bet I look so stupid. But in reality, people probably just forgot. So I probably have to like...
Oh, I have an objectively embarrassing moment.
Oh, do you want to go first then? Because I can't like think of one.
Do I? Not really. No, this is from middle school. No, it's too early for this one. I have to be like completely dissociated from everyone in middle school before I could share this one because it's so embarrassing.
No,
you know which one it is.
Because I
yeah, you know which
I
one it
had
is.
a similar like situation.
I guess one that you don't know.
Think,
what?
I know there's probably something I haven't told you too. So like.
Yeah, I know one I haven't told you, but I'm kind of like over this one. It was super embarrassing to me at the time, but now I'm like whatever. But when I was in the 3rd grade, my parents put me in my very first singing competition, just to like test the waters. Like, she seems kind of good at this. Let's see, like, you know, how she fares in a competition. So I did really, really well in the first round. Like, I got first place in the first round, which was like fantastic. I was on a cloud. I was like, look at me, freaking diva superstar, Sonica Taylor Swift 2.0. Here I come. And then in the second round, what happened was, so you're supposed to sing a different song, right? But for whatever, the two songs that I chose like back to back for the first round versus second round were kind of like similar. Like, they registered the same way in my brain because they're like the same singer, similar vibes, like, you know, the whole deal. So I straight up went up there and sang the wrong song for like a good 30 seconds. Yeah. And because like the people who were doing the instruments, like, they were super confused. They were like, okay, let's just start playing this one, I guess. But they were super like hesitant. My mom's in the audience like, no. The judges are like looking super confused at me. And I'm like, what's wrong? And then I realized and I was like, ooh. And I mean, obviously I started singing the right song after that, but it was so like not spirited and like sad. And I got off stage and I just cried. So I was really, really embarrassed at the time, but now it's just kind of like, oh, that was a funny thing that happened. So, poor third grade me, she was having a time.
Now she's releasing original music. Like, look at her.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how far you've come.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up, I'm gonna open the blinds a little bit because it's like dark.
Enjoy the ambient thunder and rain noises.
Terrible lighting.
Study while listening to this. It's great.
Yeah, you could study with us while we give you our life stories.
Whether you like them or not.
They're here.
So,
okay, go ahead.
This is really embarrassing, but you know that one time when on Google Plus everyone was sharing like that link which would like calculate the probability between you and another person?
And then it submitted it to the person who originally sent the link.
I did it.
No.
And right after that, I was like, "Oh, it's a prank." And so like,
that's so embarrassing.
I was there. I was like, what, 13? And I like sent it. Hangouts chat. This is disgusting. Hangouts isn't that bad. I'm just remembering this.
It's just associated with middle school, so for personal reasons,
so,
it's bad.
I was like, can you just forget about it? Like, it was a joke. I just thought it was a joke, right? And so I think it went over pretty well. Like, it registered, like, oh, okay, whatever, like, I'll forget about it. But still, it was like, I'm guessing in middle school, I was like, maybe this person just forgot about it. Which is likely, right? Like, I was like, whatever. But yeah, that was it. And I was like, oh, that's great. And yeah, now there's this one song by like G-Dragon and Top of Big Bang that I was listening to during that time. That I like every time I listen to that song, I'm like, oh my god.
You just perpetually associate.
Why can't I enjoy my nostalgic music in peace?
You know what's funny though? With that link, I shipped myself with all of the Percy Jackson characters. And so the friend who sent me the link, she comes to me in school the next day and just like, Sonica. And I was like, what?
Yeah. The fictional character
no,
rabbit hole.
oh god. I'm kind of glad I didn't do it with an actual person, otherwise that would have been super awkward. That would have ended my entire career. Oh lord, no. I was like, what's the probability with Percy Jackson? And they're like, you got pranked. And then my friend texted me, Sonica, are you for real? And I was like, I mean.
Okay.
Oh lord, what a time.
Okay, question 30. When did you last cry in front of another person?
Oh.
Or by yourself? Okay. In front of another person, probably... I don't remember what it was for, but I think my parents and I were talking about something kind of serious and I was just crying. And that was that. By yourself, probably last week. I don't know why. I was just like... I was just overcome with sadness and I just like started crying. I don't even know for what.
Aww.
And then I ate and then I felt better. So I don't know.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that solved it, didn't it? Aw. Yeah, in front of another person, I actually don't remember. It was probably like not within the last month, but maybe like last month-ish. Yeah, I do remember now actually. So I was feeling really down because my music situation was not going the way I wanted it to, which is why it's not this summer. But I was super like stressed about it because I was like, once college starts, I'm not gonna have time to do anything. Newsflash, you do. But anyways, I was just really like overwhelmed. I was like, okay, but like how am I gonna manage this? How am I gonna do this? And I was feeling super down about it. And then on top of that, my allergies are making my voice really like bad. And so I was kind of scared. It's like, what if I can't sing again? So I cried in front of my mom because of that. And then by myself, like you said last week, it really wasn't anything serious. I'm just sensitive and emotional about everything. So it was fine. I just had like a little cry and I was like, okay, I'm fine.
You just have to like let it out. So just hold it
yeah. You just have to get it out sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes there are things pent up and it's better to just release it. Okay, tell your partner something you like about them already. Oh my god.
We know each other. We've
Stop.
known each other for like, I don't know.
We know each other.
Like,
I know. Wait, literally, yeah. No, 7 plus almost 7 years.
Wow.
Holy cow. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's wow. All right. So I like you. You know that. I hope you like me. Otherwise, that would be a little bit awkward.
This if we hated each other. Like,
yeah. What do I like about you? I like your vibes.
It's just like in the air.
Yeah, the vibe plasma is compatible. There we go. 32. Oh, okay. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
I mean, I think like recently, you know, in the past few months, we've all kind of come to certain consensuses about things that are not as acceptable to joke about. And there are a lot of things, like, I've been looking, some posts that I've had and I've saved are about, like, language and, like, how certain words and certain, like, ways of speaking can harm, like, a community or create, like, this narrative that isn't helpful. And so, I mean, obviously things like, you know, race, your gender identity, your mental state, like mental disabilities, things like that.
Oh, I hate mental health jokes when people are like, oh, I'm so depressed. Like, shut up. No, you're not.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're using that to cope, it's not really healthy because it sort of undermines, like, people that are...
The seriousness.
I mean, because even if you have an issue, like, that's, like, totally fine, right? But...
Yeah, if you actually are, then, like, don't joke about it.
In sophomore year... Oh, Jesus Christ. Water
sophomore
time.
year. Take a sip, ladies. I didn't have water.
We should have, like, a counter in the corner for just, like, number of times we bring it up. But
for real.
Yeah, like people would make jokes like, oh, I'm so depressed, like stuff is so hard. Like, yeah, it is, right? But other people around you are going to internalize that and think about themselves in a certain way. And I think a lot of my depression or just like sadness at the time was attributed to like hearing that all the time, just like constantly. Whereas like maybe other people would be having more serious mental issues or mental struggles than I was, right? Or yeah, like if it's something that someone is discriminated for or has an issue with or like has to overcome in their lives, like why are you joking about it? Like it's not fun.
Exactly. Yeah. I think fundamentally it boils down to morals and ethics. Like if you, as you said, like race, gender identity, that like mental health, different forms of like trauma, I guess, like assaults, that kind of stuff. If joking about, if any of the like things that are being joked about, okay, basically it's just like use your common sense. If fundamentally joking about that does not match your morals or ethics, then don't joke about it. Like if you think it could be taken in a controversial manner, don't say it. Yeah.
Okay. Question 33. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
Oh. Okay, so for me, this one's kind of like random, but I think I hate the English term for it. In English, it's called great uncle, technically. So, like, my grandpa's either, like, brother or cousin or something like that, right? So, my great uncle, quote unquote. I think both of us have very, like, similar personalities. A lot of our interests are the same. He's an avid writer. He was a college professor, which is, like, if not music, that's probably what I'd go for. So he basically, a lot of his interests, strengths, personality-wise, like, very, 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 very uncannily similar to me, considering that we grew up in, like, halfway across the world. And I've always kind of just wanted to, like, spend some time with him and, like, just, you know, have, like, an older figure that I could look up to and be like, hey, I see myself in you, and you can maybe advise me, or, like, you know, something like that, right? So I think just, I don't know about telling someone something necessarily. I think we both kind of, like, mutually agree and know that, like, we're very similar. But I would probably regret, like, not spending time with him. And why haven't I done that? Because, like, well, I mean, one, physical distance, obviously. It's a little hard to go all the way to India, you know? Yeah. But even when we are in India, I think the one thing that kind of holds me back from, like, communicating or, like, talking with them, or even, like, his whole family in general, I think I get along with pretty nicely, but the only reason is because language barrier. And again, that's on me. It's up to me to, like, learn my native language better so I could express my thoughts accordingly. But yeah, language barrier is the issue. So I would probably regret that.
I don't know, in my case, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, I would just express, like, maybe things that, at least to my parents, that, like, I've always felt afraid of talking about, and, like, why certain things, like, because the way that I am a teenager now is not the same as, like, when they were teenagers.
They were.
And I feel like that's a really huge thing that, like, I disagree with. Like, well, yeah, we have the same experiences as human beings, but there are dynamics that are established that are different. So I feel like I would just express, like, oh, I've never been able to talk about this thing, or this one thing I learned about somebody, or this one question, because, like, sometimes I just don't know if I'm gonna get the answer that I need. But yeah, why haven't I said anything yet? Well, because, you know, it's
hard to. It's hard to confront.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, this is getting heavy.
Oh, Jesus. We're in the last leg. We're almost there. Okay.
Yeah, 3 more questions. All right, so... Oh, I've thought about this before. Okay, so your house, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash and save one item. What would it be and why?
I don't know. I feel like it would probably be, like, one of my stuffed animals. It's been with me since I was a baby. So it's like, there are just so many things associated with, like, that item that it's just always been there. And it's like weird. It's like the first thing I think of. I don't have any, like, deep reason for it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's understandable though. I mean, it's good. You're making me regret killing off my stuffed animals.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it would be my... Jesus, it's dark outside. Look at my camera. It's like nighttime. All right, anyways. For me, it would be one of my diaries. I don't know which one in particular. Probably just, like, the thickest one with, like, the most words. But, yeah, I mean, I mentioned in the past, like, I've been journaling since I was 10 years old. So literally every thought I've ever had for almost every day of my life is on paper up there in my bookshelf. Or in my closet, not my bookshelf. But, yeah, if I had time to save one last thing, it would probably just be one of my diaries, simply because it's, like, I love reading back on them and just being like, oh, look at how much I've, like, grown past said thing. It's just, like, it has a lot of memories that I, like, forgot in my brain, but it's, like, written down there. So I can just refer back to it and it's like, oh, this happened. I don't know. Again, there's no, like, significant deep reason for it. It's just, like, it's something I hold really near and dear to my heart. So one of my diaries.
It's chronicling history.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay, can we skip this one? This is a little deep for podcasting purposes.
Like, in case any of you just wanted to know, for whatever reason, question 35 was, of all the people in your family, Whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
Yeah, not on this
Okay,
podcast.
The purpose of these 36 questions is to like get to know someone.
In depth.
I wouldn't even
But, like-
ask like you, right? Like one of my closest friends. Why would I ask another
Yeah.
person this question?
Yeah.
Are you gonna conclude?
All
this
right.
one?
So, I'll say the outro. Okay. What has started in quarantine has now ended. Has now ended.
Yeah, I guess.
The non-temporary ended.
I guess.
What's our outro? Sure, we're gonna roll with that. Thank you for sticking with us again, as we said last week. Thank you for sticking with us for a whole season, for 20 whole episodes, 6 months, if you will. It's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're gonna keep getting better. Our camera's gonna get high tech, and we're gonna get some like fancy editing softwares, and we're gonna shoot for the stars, baby. So, yeah, stick around. Thank you for being here so far, and we hope you look forward to. Oh, look at that! The lights turned on.
That's very environmentally.
I have the automatic
friendly
like
of you.
light that's
Wow.
scheduled for a certain time. So, yeah, exactly. Sustainability. So, just in time for our wrap up. Thank you for watching this week. Thank you for watching however many episodes you have in the past, and stick around. Okay. Oh, also, sorry. You can follow us on our socials. Twitter is ArmbridgePod. Instagram is ArmbridgePodcast. Obviously, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and stuff. If you're feeling funky, leave a review, dude. We'd love to see reviews. 5-star only.
Yeah, on our website. Yeah, armbridgepodcast.card.co. There's a feedback form, so please leave your thoughts. Just any thoughts.
If you want to hate on us, if you want to like us, leave it
it's
all
fine.
there. We're immune.
It's all
right.
good. So yeah.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.